Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Melissa if you're new here, and today I am giving you an update on Monstera Devil. I want to go ahead and update because I'm getting too much footage from multiple different projects and I'm losing footage, things are getting messed up. I had upgraded my phone in between the last couple of months as well because I've been filming some clips on my phone and my camera. So I figured let's go ahead and give you an update because I did get a couple of you that asked how it was doing. So I figured it's time. I was hoping I would be able to pot it up for this update, but I cannot yet. There's still some issues going on, so I want to make sure it's fully resolved before I transition it. I think it's been pushing 2 months. I don't know if it's quite been 2 months yet, but the last video, if you are just tuning in and don't know what happened, I purchased a Monstera Devil in February of this year. I had it for 2 months and then I finally decided to repot it. I just let it kind of stabilize, acclimate to my environment. I didn't really want to disturb it and cause it to freak out, but it ended up rotting. The entire root system just shocked and completely rotted off. And so now I've been battling this rot for the past couple months. This thing has definitely been through it. It's crazy to think that we are in July now and I got this plant in February and hopefully we'll be on the mend very soon. But yeah, if you missed the last video, I will link it here. I went more into detail about what happened and all of that. I did a repotting video on here after the 2 months I had filmed. I finally shared that I had this plant. I repotted it for the first time. The root system for the most part looked pretty good. It did have a few strands of rot, I did mention that. And then I had watered it through, and then it slowly just went downhill from there. I did end up doing a treatment with you guys. I had chopped all the roots off. It was like down to hardly anything. And I did a peroxide soak and set it up to water, propagate, and I got so much advice from all of you in the comments, so thank you for sharing. And so what I did since that video is I did get an air stone. And I did take clips of me setting that up initially, but those are MIA. I don't know what happened to them. But the air stone I got on Amazon is a pretty cheap air stone. I think it was like 13 bucks. I don't know if you can hear it. I don't know how loud it is from the mic, but if you hear a little rumbling, that's what that noise is. My first time using an air stone, and let me tell you, I think it's amazing. It definitely helped with promoting healthy root growth for sure. I propagate a lot of Monsteras and I usually just stick them in water, let them be. I change it out probably once a week. I've never had persistent rot like this, so it led me to believe there was some kind of pathogen causing this. I don't know if it's some kind of waterborne pathogen or mold possibly. I don't know what it is, but something is collapsing the new roots still, and I'll go into that a little bit more. I did get the air stone set up pretty quickly after that video because I wanted to do everything that I could to give this plant the best chance at surviving and beating root rot and all of that. So I was like watching this plant, I swear, I think I would come in here like 3-4 times a day and just checking to make sure everything was okay. I feel like it took a couple of weeks to really do much of anything. I started to see the little crystallized, stuff on the roots that showed that new roots were going to start forming soon. But some of the old roots were still collapsing and rotting off, like the roots that were left. I didn't want the rot like hanging out in the vessel and on the roots, so I did trim it away when I saw some. And I like switched the water out and cleaned the vessel and all of that. 2 to 3 weeks after I had the air stone is when I noticed some new roots forming, and I was like, just like so happy and excited. I'm like, thank goodness we're not like crashing and I have new roots and we're gonna be okay. So it's pretty much just been a waiting game, just letting this plant root and recover. I did share an update in the plant update I did not that long ago, and I did share the progress it was making. It had a pretty good root system that had grown in, but I was still very paranoid about root rot and stuff, and that was my biggest concern, that if there was some pathogen, is it going to come back? So sometime after that video I had filmed, maybe like the week after, I knew I wanted to do a fungicide treatment. I just was anxious and I held off because I didn't want anything to happen to this plant. For some reason, I thought that maybe it would be too strong, maybe I would do it wrong, use the wrong product and kill the roots off. I don't know what was going on in my head, but I guess that's the reason for waiting so long to do a fungicide treatment. I think looking back, if I could change something, it would be I would have done the fungicide treatment initially, like early on, to help suppress any kind of pathogen that was present still. I did end up doing the fungicide treatment. So after the plant update, I noticed some more rot. So I had clipped it away. I took it to the sink, rinsed it, cleaned the vessel. I've been like bleaching the vessel out and just making sure it was sanitized. I had cleaned the air stone, rinsed that, you know, all the above. I was doing all the right things. And then at that point, I was really like, I need to do this fungicide treatment because I'm just worried that this is going to continue if I don't do this. I was trying to figure out which fungicide to do. Some of you recommend Phison 20, which I do have that. And for some reason, I don't know why I didn't want to use that. I guess because in my head, I thought that something would happen. So I was looking online and this one by Garden Foz, I'll put like an image of it, came up and I was trying to research which one to do. And this one did treat certain kinds of like water molds. It starts with a P. There's a couple of them that start with a P. So I went with that one. And then once it got here, I delayed treating it for another couple of weeks because I was just like anxious. I don't know why. So I cleaned that up again and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do this fungicide treatment. I didn't even think about it at that point. I'm like, this is not going away. The rot keeps coming back. So I just grabbed the plant, took everything to my kitchen and decided to do the fungicide treatment. So I was trying to figure out the dilution ratio on how to use this because again, I've never used anything like this before. I was very unsure of what to do. I knew because I was water propagating it, I couldn't do like a soil drench type of thing. So I knew I wanted to do a root soak, but there wasn't really specific directions on a root soak. I saw one where it said philodendrons and other type of like houseplants fell under. So I went with that one. And I think the dilution ratio per gallon ended up being like 0.64 or 0.62, something like that. So it was just a tiny amount, not even a full milliliter in a gallon jug. So I pulled that exact amount up with a little syringe and then I dumped it into the gallon jug and kind of gave that a shake. And then I immediately poured it into a container that I was going to soak the root system in. And the gallon fit that container perfectly. I didn't even think about that. Like, was it going to be big enough to hold a gallon jug of water? And it was like right at the rim. And so I had cut away all the rot before I decided to soak it in the fungicide. I took several minutes making sure it was clean. I rinsed it under the water and then, yeah, I just dunked it in there. And that was the other thing too. I didn't know how long to let it soak for. There wasn't really specific instructions on that. So I was trying to Google some stuff and then I'm like, I saw one where it said like 15 to 30 minutes. I'm like, let me do the longer side, 30 minutes to give it enough time to actually kill off anything or suppress anything. So I did that. I let it soak for 30 minutes, gave it a good rinse off, sterilized the vessel again, the shears, everything with bleach. And then I got it back in its container, back here at the window. I cleaned the air stone again really good. I let that soak in bleach as well, rinsed it really good. And that was about, I would say, a little over a week ago now. I had found more rot when I came in here to water in here, and that was last Saturday. So it's been a week roughly since I did that fungicide treatment. And then I can give you like a current update on it and then my plan moving forward. I actually cleaned it today, this morning, because I came in here because I need to tape the air stone because it keeps coming disconnected because it vibrates and moves so much that the little cord with the valve connection, it just comes off. I just need to put some tape on it. I just haven't done that yet. But I came in here this morning, there was more rot. Like, what the heck? There wasn't a ton of rot, but there was still some rot that I had clipped away. And I'm like, is this pathogen still present after the fungicide treatment? And so that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm kind of in this stalled position of like, I want to make sure this rot is fully gone before I transition it to pon. And I don't want to move it over too soon. It's obviously grown a ton of healthy roots. It does have a really nice established root system. There's just something that's still causing some roots to collapse. And I don't think the fungicide treatment failed. I don't think that. I just think, I don't know if I should do another treatment in a few weeks. I did read the instructions. It said monthly. So I don't want to do it too soon. So that would be 3 more weeks. I could do another fungicide treatment. I could do a Phison 20 at that point, or I could just do another dose of this one that I have. I just don't feel comfortable potting it up right now because I'm worried that once I transition it, if the rot continues, then like what's the point? I'm gonna have to take it back out, cut the rot, and make sure it's gone before I pot it up. Maybe I didn't do a strong enough dose. Maybe Monstera just needed a little bit more. I don't really know. I also think another thing that I wished I had done sooner. So every time I found rot, I would rinse the root ball. But I think the thing that I didn't do that I wished I had done, I don't know if it would have changed my situation, is, you know, the like biofilm buildup and all of that, like that gets on propagations. I wished I had scraped more of that off sooner. I did give it a good scrape this morning. Again, I don't know if that would have changed anything if I would have removed a lot of that sooner before I did the fungicide treatment. I'm not really sure. I just did the treatment last weekend, spur of the moment. I saw the rot and I'm like, you know what, damn it, I'm so tired of this. I'm gonna do the treatment, knock it out. I just don't know why I was so scared to do the fungicide treatment. I really don't know why. I think I'm just scared to do anything with this plant because of the plant that it is and everything. I just don't want to do something stupid and kill it, you know? So I think what I'm gonna do in the next few weeks, I do want to do one more fungicide treatment as a precaution. If any new rot pops up after today, I'll continue to cut it away, just continue to monitor type of thing. Because yeah, like I said, I don't want to pot it up if I'm still getting roots that rot. And these are all new roots too. So it's not like old roots that are rotting off. These are like newly formed roots that have rotted. It's staying in water longer than I would have liked it to, but again, I don't want to pot it up with the chance of rot coming back. Whatever is causing this rot has been so stubborn. I even thought about at one point, I'm like, should I get it tested? But then I was looking into that to see what that would cost, and it's crazy expensive to get it tested. I would like to know what pathogen is causing this, but I would just rather buy a fungicide and treat than to pay all that money to get it tested, you know? The thing is vibrating very loud. But here's the current situation. Still the same 3 leaves. They look the exact same as they did. Obviously the plant is not pushing any new growth right now because it's battling whatever is going on down here. So like I said this morning, I gave it another good clean, another good rinse under the sink. I scraped a lot of that extra gunk off. No stem rot or anything, it's nice and firm. And you can see like all those healthy white root tips, like a lot of healthy roots. It's just something is still present causing the rot issues. So that's my plan. If you have any other tips or advice for me, definitely let me know. I'll read through your comments. But that's the plan as of now, what I'm gonna do. I'll clean the stem again and try and get more of that gunk off before I do another fungicide treatment. I'll probably just clean it up every week. The air stone evaporates the water pretty quickly, and now that it has a pretty significant root system too, the water, it definitely drinks up the water fast, so I have to keep an eye on that because I don't want these top roots to be exposed to air. So I may have to add a little bit more water back in here in a few days, just top it off a bit. So I will film the next several weeks. I'll film the next fungicide treatment, anything else that I do with this plant, and hopefully in another month's time, I can finally get this plant potted up and I won't have any more rot issues. So yeah. So yeah, that is the update on Devil, nasty little pathogen. I wish it would go away, so this plant would quit rotting its roots. So yeah, again, let me know if you have any suggestions, any comments. I just wanted to give you an update and fill you in on what's been going on with it since the last update. Hopefully positive news going forward. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you in the next video.